Their belongings were crammed into plastic garbage bags, littering the street in front of the Four Points Sheraton Hotel before being loaded onto trucks. There are about 25 people still in the hotel who are refusing to move. I could only talk to Anthony Campbell over the phone. He's refusing to vacate his room. He sent me a picture of the chair he's using to barricade the door in case officials try to use force to remove him.
I don't even know where I'm going. They haven't told me where I'm going. They just told me to pack my clothes.
It's like you're just kicking us back out to the curb.
The Biden administration extended the eviction moratorium until the end of July. 6 million American families are behind on rent and at risk of being homeless this summer. Well, here in Nevada, according to Zillow, more than 81,000 renters are currently behind on rent. And Zillow estimates about 35,000 are at risk of eviction. If you're at risk, know that the CDC order doesn't stop the eviction process and your landlord can still issue a notice. Those can't go through until after the moratorium if you file for the extension.
Thank you very much. Just picking up from Dominic, I think it's fair to say that this report shows that our worst fears are coming true. We see hunger is going up, meaning acute hunger is going up, just 155 million people. We're also seeing that chronic hunger is going up. You see about 130 million more people estimated to be in chronic hunger in 2021 compared to 2020, or 2019 to be precise, in extreme poverty. World Bank says that in 2021, we're going to see about 150 million more people in extreme poverty.
After July 31st, banks will start to be allowed to foreclose on borrowers who haven't been making their mortgage payments.
Michael Burry has just forecast that we're going to see the mother of all crashes. So here's the tweet on June the 17th where Michael Burry says that there's lots of hype and speculation, and that's drawing in lots of retail investors. That's normal investors like you and I, just before the mother of all crashes, which is his way of saying there's going to be a big crash. That's how it's going to end.
Tell me the difference between what you're seeing now and what you saw pre-pandemic.
We had a record year distributing 8.4 million pounds of food. This year, over 18 million pounds of food. So many new people getting food.
I mean, that number's, it's staggering.
It is. We agree. Hunger is on steroids.
If there's anything that worries me relative to continuing to meet this demand is how much we're having to pay for food. Contextually, pre-COVID, the Central Texas Food Bank spent about $100,000 a month to purchase food. Over the last few months, we're spending $1 million a month to purchase food.
Every bit of the increase, Chubb says, is the result of the economic crisis and job loss in the United States caused by the pandemic.
The U.S. housing market crash has started. That's right, we've passed the peak U.S. housing bubble, and from this point on, things are going to start to go south, and they're going to start to go south really, really fast. All of these things are happening at once, and expect to see a vastly different perspective coming out of the media, coming out of realtors' mouths on the U.S. housing market starting later this month, starting in July.
I never think of America, which is called the breadbasket of the world, of dealing with any type of food shortages or what some would call a famine. Now, we have had droughts from time to time, but there's a very severe drought taking place now in the United States, especially in the West Coast. June 2021, 46% of what's called the lower 48 states, that's eliminating Alaska, are now in drought. Now I want you to think about that for a moment. That's almost half of the United States is in a drought situation.
But how did we get here? How did a nation with such wealth and prosperity wind up with 500,000 people on the streets?
People are not earning enough money to pay for the housing that's available, essentially.
There are approximately 11 million low-income renters in America. Research from the Federal Reserve found that 59% of Americans are one paycheck away from being homeless.
This is Raptor News. We are experiencing a housing market crash. which is going to be an economic crash. We are experiencing food shortages, massive drought. Everything under the sun that can happen is happening. Mass murder in the inner cities every day now, and they ain't doing nothing about it. If they even try to do something, they're going to have to kill normal people because they ain't going to be able to distinguish the thug, the murderer, the sick-minded individual from any other individual. You outside, you doing this, you doing that, you're going to get shot and killed. The military have to come in and solve these problems in the inner city. And then the youth are going to be firing back. And they hit and shoot indiscriminately. They don't care where those bullets go and who they hit, because they took prayer out of school. They said you can't whip your kids no more. They have created some monsters. The biblical texts say that these women and children are our oppressors. They are our oppressors. And now, since this sick little man have created these sick little kids, guess what they're going to do? Turn on them. They monster is going to attack them. It's been attacking us. We've been in and out of jail and hell with them. Y'all deal with them now, because they coming for y'all asses. They're going to be hungry, they're going to be thirsty, and they're going to be loaded down with all kind of ammo that you supplied them. Get ready, y'all. The key word that the Spirit of the Most High God is giving me is security right now. Make sure wherever you are, your location is secure and your people are all right. You have some type of game plan, because if you don't, that's your ass. This is Wrap the News.